know we on the outline.
auto show, steakhouse dinners with a toast. Happy.
Hey there, it's Chris from Tribu Capital Financial, and we're proud to sponsor this ACE-WIPS video. Here at Tribu Capital Financial, we're not just about fixing credit scores. We're about supercharging your dreams. Whether you want better credit, you're chasing business funding, or you're hunting down business grants so you can have the money in your bank account to get things done, we've got your back. So whether you have collections, old debt, repos, and bank issues, we can help. If you're dreaming big or just need that extra boost, join the tribe at Tribu Capital Financial. Let's make your financial future strong. Call or shoot us a text at 954-310-4660. Let's get back to that ACE-WIPS video.
Yeah, we did the most. Poker face, I played close. Quiet tone, I've been a ghost. Now we running up the scope. I can show you how it goes. Who gets to choose who wins? Find what outweighs the sins, then keep on adding in. I'm running out on days, I'm losing out on nights. How can I pay the price when I can't even seem to find a cashier? I'm just trying to do better than my last year. I'm just trying to keep trying, it's been mad years. Keep this little engine running, still got mad gears. This won't be my last year, I've been thinking out the box. I got used to punching clocks, then I stopped punching clocks. Now I'm setting up the shop, it's time to make it pop. Get it hot, now or never can regret it. It's embedded to the hustle, I'm indebted. I can show you how it goes. Catch a wave and let it flow. Grab a bag and hit the road. Then I'll go from coast to coast. Drive it like an auto show. Steakhouse dinners with a toast. Happy that we did the most. Poker face, I play it close. Quiet tone, I've been a ghost. Now we running up the scope. I can show you how it goes.
Yeah, I can't get the grind on my head. I've been running after them blue boys till I'm cramping up in my leg. I'm going 10 on 10 with the goals in it, getting everything that I said. Big Russ Road sitting on foes, tinted with the speakers talking like Ted. I'll be riding around fast, pedal all gas. Bet I won't crash, better log in for the live in. Living legend, what they gotta say I've been on the broadcast. CNN need to have me on the feed at a high chase speed, cause I can't let them pass. Yeah, and that's just how it go. So many flows, I'm like any, mini, money, mo. Step out the shows, but I barely ever flip the pose. Gone in an instant, distant, that's my mode.
I can show you how it goes. Catch a wave and let it flow. Grab a bag and hit the road. Then I'll go from coast to coast. Drive it like an auto show. Steakhouse dinners with a toast. Happy that we did the most. Poker face, I play it close. Quiet tone, I've been a ghost. Now we running up the scope. I can show you how it goes.
What's up, baby? most of this shit, don't just be patient. With this shit in it, got a chew between her and a friend, then fuck it, I ain't picking. All this shit came off the scale and now I blew it, I ain't stingy. All that spinning I did with you, no, I'm surprised I ain't dizzy.
still on it. Build on it. We still on it. Build on it. We still on it. Build on it. We still on it.
Bro, this no whole shit, man. We out here, man. We ain't missed no event.
It's from Cinco Black my third time.
No event. It's like came home, man. I know what it is, man. We teach a legendary work, man. Legendary work. That's the message. That's the message. It's always the message.
Yeah, my paperwork, nigga. Yeah, I been the realest. I did the scam business. I just fly the city. I don't know the road. And I don't fuck the business. I don't find out. I'm in the stunt business. You can hate for a nigga. You make my minute bird with it. I got my stuff like I done sold crack. I done went broke. And I done snap right. Niggas still wishing. This is my life. Niggas all count. Bitch, I'm on face. I love to play ball. Love to shoot dice. I'm a real shooter. I can beat the juice twice. I done $1,000. It was all a dream. I done bet my quarter. Make another dream. Hip-hop. Everything is good to see. Hip-hop. Got
Dollar. When is it? Hey, listen, man. We're in Tallahassee. Want to show this black man how to go.
Get your ass down now. Oh, that's still good. Get out. Go. Get your ass down. Let's go. Yes, sir. That's how you fucking from now on.
Hey, fuck, nigga, you make my man bird with me. I got my top right. I don't so crack. I don't win right. And I don't snap right. Niggas still wishing. This is my. Cause I ain't got no sense. I'm gonna take you a real student. Spend no business. By the club when I can buy the building. It's a whole lot of motion in that little equipment city. Yeah, I've been the nigga. Yeah, I've been the I ain't surprised to see it. I don't know the hole, and I don't fuck the bitch. I don't find out. I'm in the stunt business. You can hate fuck nigga, you bet my man. I got my job right. I don't smoke crack. I don't live right. And I don't snap right. Niggas still wishing. This is my life. Niggas don't count. Bitch, I'm all fat. I love to play ball. Love to shoot dice. I'm a real shooter. I can make it do twice. I ain't gonna die. It was all a dream.
Whatever you want to do, y'all. Only you stand on road. I got your ass covered. I got your ass covered. Go crack that goddamn ass. Ready, see them. I don't want none of that. I want what you rapping.
That's right, that's motherfucking me, nigga. We got to live right in that motherfucking minute. If it was fully our motherfucking minute. Wait 1 motherfucking minute. Y'all hold your nose in the game. Fuck
Huh? What is it? I'm looking for. You seen Bunky? Anybody seen Bunky? I bought this money.
Oh, yeah.
Trav, he's scared. Trav. Trav. He's scared, huh? No, Bunky ain't scared. It's my dog. I bought
If you haven't COD, can't let a nigga borrow. Gotta have my shit right now, ain't that promise tomorrow. Switch lanes and V12, don't get the fuck about my road. Slow slide, sagging, thug and culo. Pull clapping at a nigga like we gave him culo. That new social slap and turning on your trot.
He's scared.
Bring that new shit to
He's scared.
like a
They need some money on them. I got a lot of rubber bands, they got some money on them.
Who's that locked up?
They want some money on them. That nigga told on their mans ain't fucking. I call bands, they got some money on them. It's a whole lot of bitches, they want some money on them. That nigga told on their mans ain't.
This shit all on here, man.
Yeah, I've been in there. Yeah, my paperwork, nigga. Yeah, I've been there. I did the scam business. I was trying to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't fuck the bitch.
Yo, you know y'all been waiting for it. And it's about time, man. Let's see y'all do. Cause that gang is low. Right now. I need to make the ass up. Make it clap, 20 times, shit get a little clap. And what she got? Left cheek, right cheek, throw it all to the beat. It's easy young in the cheek screen, and you can free fall. Bitch, yeah, you ain't got no one draw. And all the ones you those ain't back yet. I make it jump like a cat wet. I take it down to the floor. She can booty break it down, get it low and low. She work the floor like a runway, not phone with it. Call a nigga out and tell him come get it. Left cheek, right cheek, throw it all to the beat. It's easier on your cheek screen, and you can free fall. Bitch, yeah, you ain't got no one draw. So how low can you go? Look back at and make it jump like a cat wet.
I'm the king hawker, big bird, no I ain't sign me. I used to cook up crack and sell it over 9 times. I switched the Rolex to the paddock, watch it perfect time. Plus I gotta say in my review, they might kill me while I'm sliding. They know I'm putting it, I'm on my back. I gotta hit the trenches. Follow like the shit, I just call them up, I slip back. And I got the bitch, I say I'm a man.
He gon' score that ain't selling that for the low low. Ain't this new nigga no promo. And he beat on himself no homo. Try niggas smoke gumbo. Don't make me mad, I'm humble. Might show my ass in pub.
That video up there. Don't get too drunk, bro. Move that. You're right, huh? I went. You right. I drink white. Engine tight. It's fasting. We run like. Behind the shoes. 3-man. Bro.
boy.
Man, listen, man, it is what it is, boy. It's showtime, bro. It's showtime, baby.
my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not pussy making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for a flip, for real. That's not wealth, that's rich, for real. For real. whip, for real. I get bored, I take a trip, for real. Take a loss, I never trip, for real. Been in shock, I'm not a lick, for real. Don't trust the soul, it's on my hip, for real. Make a move and you get hit, for real. No pictures by the crib, for real. Can't let them know just where I live, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. That chain on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. We go taking risks, for real. What the hell to get to this?
I've been giving you the worst. Now you wanna stay tonight. Pretty how you work hard. Why forget you how to talk? I don't like no help. Just go and suss it up. Now it's time to back. And right after we're done,
really been going back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Like the neighborhood warriors. I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I stick with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks. Tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good. Tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops, drop a lot, and she pack the bags. She shot till we drop. I just wake up, I don't say nothing. I'm on go, I don't stay long. I've been up now, that's the case wine. I've been down too, like this day strong. I got summer toys for the summer boy. I keep drummer boys in the summer boy. I keep making noise, I've been paranoid. This is God body, you can never void. I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I stay with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks. Tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good. Tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops, drop a lot, and she pack the bags. She shot till we drop. These beats are up and beat 'em. These bags you can't believe 'em. I never saw the country, but the money comes from Sweden. I meet 'em, then I leave 'em. I wake up, fight my demons. I never grew my circle. I can't trust you with my freedom. Give me locked down, keep you locked out. Only when it's here, you look pop now. I get drops now, on the top now. In the wintertime, still go top down. I get free. I don't go bust and I go play J, watch me ski. Yeah, I see you now, I can tell you watching me. I go ghost, but tell me I'm more like his lead. Rockstar, baby, turn pop star. I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go switch, that's an A1. I stay with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks. Tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good. Tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops, drop a lot, and she pack the bags. She shot till we drop. Tell them run it on. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip this, wet. Tell them run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it on. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip this, wet. Tell them run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it on. 9 out of 10 run through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me.
I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'll make regret. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this, tell them run it up.
Top five to the front! Top five to the front! Hey, that been running. Hey, that been running. Hey, that been running.
Champ, this is exclusive. Can I get an interview, please?
Yeah. What you want to know?
What happened out there? Like, what did they say to you that it could possibly make them think that they can fuck with Pompano?
I don't know what the fuck they thought. They thought shit was sweet in the know. I guess because, a lot of them got away from us, easily lost, and they think I don't give a fuck. He ain't lose. They got fucked up, and I represent 36 to the destiny, man. I'm always putting on for the city. We're gonna always fucking win.
That's it. That's all.
Hey, how you left on him though? If you would have had the 6s, it would have been worse. Real bad. If it been real bad, you'd have patted on him.
That boy, I fuck with you, hey, that was a good raid though. But what the hell happened with Derek? To the house. How you doing?